Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now I know it's been a long time. I know. Um, but yeah, today we're going to go through a video that I think I kind of got inspiration from my community from, but also kind of was from me as well, seeing as I wanted to do this. Now ages ago I made a kind of parody, how to make a Rocket League montage, which was one of the first videos on my channel. But yeah, let's not go there. Anyway, today I wanted to show you guys how to make cool cinematics. Basically, cinematics, but it's more like screenshots to show off your designs. So if you're really into designing, this will be a video for you. And how to get good screenshots. I'm going to tell you how to focus on the car. I'm going to tell you what kind of angles you want to be using, what kind of settings you want to be using, and what kind of cool replay features we are going to be using. Okay, so first of all, what you want to do is you want to grab your car. I've got this lovely car, which was made by Encore on my Discord. Thank you to him. Actually, very, very pod car. I adjusted it a bit, made the primaries a bit darker, made the other colors a bit brighter, but this idea came from him, so all the credit goes to him. And yeah, so we're going to jump into a custom game. You want to be doing an exhibition or a private match. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go for an exhibition, seeing as I have already all my settings done here already. Now what you want to do is you want to grab a map that's nice and I'd say plain. So we want to grab like a Beckwith Park or a Utopia Coliseum. I like grabbing Champions Field as well if it's like epic designs, but usually you want to grab like a daytime map. So let's just grab Manfield because it's the easiest. You want to be doing team size any. You want to be doing no bots because you don't want bots to ruin all your replays. You want to go to team settings. You want to keep those default and mutator settings. The best thing I find is doing match length unlimited, because if you're doing a lot of screenshots or a lot of scenarios, you want to be having enough time for that. And I'll also do boost amount unlimited, because this is really important, because if you want to get aerial shots or shots where you're drifting and boosting and showing off all the aspects of your car, like the trail and the boost and everything, you want to be having that so you don't have to grab pads every time. So we're going to go in and create the match, and then we're going to join the side we want to photograph, and then we're just going to be on our merry way, right? We're just going to chill. We're just going to do whatever. Now, I want to show you guys a couple of scenarios, right? So usually people like drive their car, just boost it, just have the trail coming out, which is perfectly fine. You can do that if you want to. So that's one scenario you do. But one thing I would recommend is try to be a bit more creative. So try to do like cool moves or like flips and stuff, or like 360s, stuff like that. Like drive a bit on the wall. Or what you can do is you can like go from the ceiling, boost a bit, and then you can do like a flip to have like extra speed. Or you can just aerial, which is pretty cool. So you can do like this kind of stuff. Now, a trend I see a lot is people doing goal explosions. Now, if you really want to show off the goal explosion, like if it matches to your car, I would do that. If the goal explosion has nothing to do with your car, I wouldn't really go for it, because it's just like going to overshadow your car, right? So I'll just show an example here. So I like turn around here. Once you've done everything you want to do. Also, one thing I would recommend, and I think these shots are very underrated, you should go to like a part of the field that's has not got any boosts or not got like a lot of markings on it. So let's say like over here. And then you just want to let your car like sit for like 1 or 2 seconds. And then you want to save your replay, and then you want to go into leave match. So we've saved the replay. So we can go back into it. Now, one thing I really recommend for a little pro tip, so to speak, from my end, is if you're taking screenshots, you want to be using a controller. Even if you're a PC player, find like a sibling or a friend who has a controller and use controller, because you just have a lot better inputs with it. So like you can, first we go into fly cam, then we go into none, first of all. So that is the settings we're going to use. So you have a lot like smaller inputs, and you can do a lot like smaller stuff. Whereas if I use my mouse, you can see already I'm going to have a hard time with that. So that's why I also recommend doing controller. So first we're going to let our car go for a bit, because we want to have a bit of open space. Next, we're going to spam the B button or the circle button if you're PS4. And next, what I recommend to do, you got to probably look at your settings and look at your camera controls. Definitely if you're playing on weird like video settings, you definitely want to be turning all your settings to high quality, because we want to get every single pixel and every single like effect on this to make it look as nice as possible. And then what you're going to do is there's a binding called, I don't know what it's called actually. Is it called? It's called Halter Roll, and you want to be having this because Dutch angles, which are these like weird tilted angles, in your screenshots will make your car look 10 times better. So we're going to hold this to roll. We're going to turn our right stick, and as you can see, we're tilting a bit into this. Now if we line this up nicely like this, then we have our first screenshot, right? So that's going to be our first screenshot. Let me just do that real quick. There we go. So we have that. Now, what does Halter Roll do? Basically, you hold this button and then instead of your camera turning this way, your camera will be rolling. So we can do some of that. We can be a bit creative. Just make sure not to roll too much because we don't want our car being like this, you know? Like you're not going to be able to see the design if you're like that. I would just do like a quick tap. That's also fine. Now, one thing that I see a lot of people doing as well with screenshots is they either get too far away from the car, so they're like here, or they get too close to the car, so they're like here, right? Now, I always say you want to frame your car very nicely, so it wants to be like in the action, you know? So you either have it like going off somewhere, like this will be a bit too far because you can't see the car at all, but like you can have it like here. I think that would be kind of cool, and then you just put your little Dutch angle on there as well. And then you can maybe frame it like this, because if they see your car here, they're going to see your car here as well, right? And then you can get a bit more of the boost and everything in there, so that's very nice. Or you can film your car from the top, like this, or you can even film it from like a top-down perspective. You just got to make sure that your car is like very, very visible and that you can see the decal and everything that went into it. Because what's the use of doing a car design if you're going to do this, right? So, yeah. Next up, I want to show you guys something else. So if you remember here, we did a little bit of like a weird little cut. So that can also be really cool for like shots like this, where you have the boost going all the way around. And what you can do is if you zoom into the boost, like if I can get it right, it's not really that good. I mean, alpha boost isn't really the best boost to do it with. But if you have a very faint boost, you can do this kind of like cool cloud effect. Like sparkles is the best one for it. So you can do like that kind of stuff to have like a little bit of a filter going on. If I turn this like this, like you know what I mean, right? So like you have a bit of like a gold dust effect going on, but you can do that with a lot of boosts. So I think you just need to experiment there. For flip shots, if you're doing cinematics, the best thing I would advise you to do is to have the camera on yourself because it makes it easier. And this is a pro tip I learned from Moz himself. So I'm giving this on. Always film your car at like 10% or at 25% speed because it's just easier to track it with the camera. So if you have the camera on yourself, like I just have right here, it's very easy. You just don't even, I'm not even touching anything on the controller right now. But if you have your thing on none, you can also, if you have that Dutch angle again, you come down. It's a lot easier to track your car when it's going at 25% speed than if it would like whoosh by, you know? So that is a pro tip there. Also, if you're filming replays, one small tip I want to give is if you film in 25% and then you, in your editing software, you put it up to 4 times speed, it will look a million times better, trust me. So there you go. Right, now for aerial shots. Right, so if you fly up, there's a few shots you can do with aerials. So you can do the trail away, which is like this, where it looks like your car's like flying off into the distance, you know, it's like very poetic. You can do like the face towards the camera kind of stuff. So you can do it like this, or you can do it like this. Or also when your car's vertical is probably the best time to take a picture of it. So like here, and then you put your little Dutch angle. And you always want to do it so that the car and the boost is either vertical or horizontal on the screen. Like you see, like now my car's horizontal. Like my car and my car is kind of vertical and my boost is horizontal. Or if I do it this way, then my car is horizontal, right? If I just take that a bit, there you go. Like, so you can see the full design. That's really what you want to convey the motion of the car, and you want to convey the design of the car. So like if I see me going speedy here, then I can do like this kind of thing. And I can tilt it a bit so that more fits into the frame. And I can take a screenshot like that, you know? So that's pretty cool. Now the reason I said that we should take a picture of the car standing is because you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Now the best thing is one cool position is off of the kickoff. So off of the kickoff position, you can do this really cool shot. This is something you could maybe use for a desktop wallpaper. So that would be something like this. So you have it like behind the car and you have it like that. So that would be really cool for like a desktop wallpaper. That's also one of the favorite shots of mine to use for when I'm like doing like really cool cinematic stuff is like this, because I think it's just really nice. Or like this from the front, you can do that too. Or like this from the top, that's also really nice. So something like that. And basically you just want to be really like showing off your car. Like you don't want to be too far out, like you don't want to be like here or here. Like even this is like way too far for me. So I want to be like up close and personal, especially when it's standing, because when the car is standing, you don't have that added effect of motion. So it's really important to have that like epicness of the car just standing on the field. So yeah. So stuff like this, for example, or stuff like this, for example, where it's like really, really cool. You can even do like a cinematic shot where you have it like straight on and then like looking up a bit. So it's like the grandiose stuff. So that's really cool. For this part where the car is just standing, this is basically just a nicer field. So you can like have the car maybe without any background or maybe with some background. So it's like, it's a bit standing off to the side so that you don't really have like a whole field in front of it. This is probably better for like close-up shots. So like if you really want to like emphasize that, or now this basically goes for any car. So even if you have a Dominus, even if you have like a Gizmo, even though I don't know why, you can do that as well. And if you want to like just present your car, you can just have it like head on like this. You can have it a bit overhead. That's what I do for most of my thumbnails because it just shows off the design really nicely and I have space for text. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked this tutorial and this little screenshot tutorial. Make sure to go on my Discord, make sure to follow me on Twitter and send me your coolest screenshots. I would love to see all of those. Yeah, so follow me there and I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace.